I'm going to answer a question that came in from the internet. My name is Marco Brown. I'm a divorce attorney here in Salt Lake City. So here's the question. I got divorced in 2010. I pay child support and agreed to pay 50% of child care expenses. My husband never told me where my son went to daycare. Neither did he provide me any of the receipts from the daycare. Now that I'm taking him to court, he's threatening me with an $8,000 judgment for not paying for the daycare. Can he do that? So probably, I mean, he can always do it. Whether or not he's going to be successful is a different kind of analysis, and let's go through that a little bit. So the general rule is that exes split daycare costs 50-50, okay? So your husband obviously was paying the daycare costs, and you knew your son was going to daycare, but you didn't know where he was going to daycare, and your ex never gave you the receipts. So, but you knew where he was going, that he was actually going to daycare. So the way the judges look at this is it's kind of on you to figure out if you know your kid's going to daycare, where your kid's going to daycare, and then try to pay those bills, okay? Now, there are some situations where you don't know, or the other side is just absolutely won't give you any information, but you can prove that you bugged the other side incessantly about giving you the info so you can pay. And in those situations, then the judge is probably not going to look at that other side and say, oh yeah, now she needs to pay $4,000 because the husband kind of hid it from her, right? But if it's a situation where you knew your kid was going to daycare and you just didn't reach out to your ex to figure anything out, then the judge is probably going to make you pay the $4,000. So it really, really is fact dependent. But what I can tell you is, in a situation like this, do not just assume that you're not going to have to pay in the future. Do everything you can to figure out where your kid's going to daycare, what the situation is, and be an active participant in that, and then actively try to make payments. So if the other person blocks you from making payments, then you can go back and say, I've done all of these things and I shouldn't have to pay. And that may well be successful. But if you just kind of put your head in the sand, then you're very likely going to have to pay.